Camera speed.
Scene 15-3.1.
Action! That's perfect.
Scene 15-2, take one. Mark.
Let me know when you're ready, Merced.
Okay. Hold on.
This scene brings us back to reality. So I'm daydreaming that I'm back at my shop fixing this truck and tighten one of the bolts in the truck. It's a little too tight, so I'm using all my might to untighten it, and then I literally slip off the tool and bang my knuckles on the truck. And it sends me back and I trip and fall. That's at the shop, and so they're gonna match it here where I come back to reality and I'm actually at my house. So that's what we're doing now. So they're trying to make sure that they match the lens and match the distance from the truck to me falling down.
Focus set.
Camera set.
And action. So Manos de Oro is about a former mechanic named Sergio who has arthritis and is no longer working at his old place of work. This is about a man who is an obsessive workaholic who insists on always staying productive and has an anxiety to always do something or just to be as productive as possible. And it's also involving his relationship with his son, Fernando, who still works at the mechanic shop where Sergio used to work.
Sorry, Mr. Nelson. Looks like she's gonna have to take it to the shop.
The very first puzzle piece that came of Manos de Oro was getting Julio César Cedillo to be a part of this film with us. Julio's been in, some of the best projects that have come out of the last decade. Narcos Mexico, one of Netflix's biggest hit shows.
What was that, huh? It's police work. That's how we do it down here.
Sicario, directed by Denis Villeneuve, shot by the ever so talented Roger Deakins.
Do you think the people that sent you here are any different? Do you think you should be proud of what you've become?
He was in Cowboys and Aliens.
I don't have any more matches.
He was in the 3 Burials of Melquiades Estrada that won 2 major awards at the Cannes Film Festival.
Prométeme una cosa, Pedro. Que si me llego a morir acá, me lleves con mi familia y me entierras en mi pueblo.
So Julio's been around. He's been acting for almost 30 years now. Has a lot of skin in the game, and we were just so honored and lucky to have a presence, a talent, and a man of such experience to be joining us.
I met Merced online. It was not a dating app. No, I met Merced because he had actually contacted me through Instagram. He reached out to me, direct message, and just wrote me the most beautiful message about who he is and what he wanted to do, and that was the beginning of a conversation. And he has these leadership qualities that I find just amazing. You know, having all these great people around him that are working with him on this film, it was amazing to watch him as a leader because he wasn't about ego. You know, he was always seeking the truth in his film, but he had a vision, and he was hoping that they would follow him in that vision. But he did it through respect.
Like this.
I think in the process of writing the story, what we found is that it focused a lot on Sergio and just his point of view, and we felt that we needed to introduce the dynamics of another character, which is Fernando. And at the time, me and Merced, ironically, were having the same kind of relationship with our fathers, just a distant son from his father and a distant father from his son. And that the wanting of putting that into the story just kind of naturally came to the being of Fernando.
I met Julio Cedillo originally on our previous job in Narcos, Mexico. From the get-go, we clicked. He also became just like a big part of the group of actors that we were working with. And it was towards the end of the production, he mentioned that he had a project in which he was going to work on, and he just kind of kept me in the loop a lot. And then Merced got in touch with me, and they offered me the role. And when I read the script, I was just like, I'm in. There's no question about it. It's been a great experience working with Julio. Very creative, collaborative process. We get each other very well. We have a great friendship, and it allows just for many opportunities to create and to plug in certain things about our relationship of his character and my character, but we were able to show the love and the frustration at the same time. So it's been a great experience working with him. Bueno, ahorita que llegue a ver si te echo la mano.
No, deja ahí, no me toques.
Ahorita de volada, pa, ahorita nos echamos aquí.
No toques mis cosas, cabrón. Pinche cabezón.
Ahí te va a estar rogando, hombre.
Cambia los filtros del aire antes de que te vayas. No está funcionando bien el aire acondicionado.
Having the opportunity to talk to him early on, having the opportunity to hear about his relationship with his dad and how personal he felt that the story was, we just couldn't have picked a better person.
What do you reckon's wrong with it?
It's hard to say, Mr. Nelson. It could be the computer, relay, fuel pump. It's better to diagnose the codes here before giving you a price.
Well, I don't know what to tell you, Fernando. Sounds like mucho dinero to me.
So Mr. Richard Jackson, Texas legend, he was also a direct product of another recommendation from Julio Cedillo. One of the bigger and well-known projects that he's been a part of was No Country for Old Men.
I'm this old farmer way out west Texas, and I'm just driving down the highway, and I see Javier Bardem, this guy broken down on the side of the road. And, it's not many people go by, so I pull over because it's, guy's out here by himself. And so I try to help him. And he eventually, of course, wants to know where the airport is and all that. And then eventually told him to get the chickens out of my truck, and we presume he kills me and takes my truck, because the next thing is he's washing feathers and blood off the truck.
What makes Richard so special is because he's just a very down-to-earth person, a very transparent person. And the moment he opens his mouth, you feel the kindness in this man. And that's why the scene in No Country for Old Men works so beautifully, is because here you have this, rural type of person who's there helping someone out, and the moment Richard opens his mouth, that's Richard.
Well, shit, that'll save me a few bucks, as long as old Fur here don't think we're stealing his thunder. Every role you do, it's you just born to a different life. Maybe it broadens your horizon a little bit. And for people watching, that probably does some of that too, you get to see another perspective, another person's point of view. Whether you agree with it or not, you see it, and maybe that changes you a little bit. And in doing so, I never thought about that.
All right, this is Mechanics 101. In a scene, you may not know anything about mechanics, but just as long as you hear this, sounds like I'm getting things done. You just pick a random spot. And you're just looking for the customer. It's gonna have to take about $1,200 to fix this, because I just broke it.
¿A qué hora regresas?
Sepa. Muchacho, me tiene un jale que voy a tener que estar para mañana.
Pues qué suerte.
Manos de Oro is by far the most personal and vulnerable I've ever gotten with my filmmaking. It is a direct result of an occurrence that happened October 16th of 2018 that found my father stuck in a hospital bed for almost a month. Watching my dad go through what he did, this lifelong mechanic, this obsessive workaholic, someone who never likes to rest, never likes to really take a break, And watching him basically glued to a hospital bed and being stuck in his own thoughts and his own anxieties about not getting dirty, not fixing cars, not being out with his co-workers. It was heartbreaking to watch. It was terrible. It was, you know, I knew what was hurting him the most wasn't his physical pain. It was his inability to be productive and to be the provider that he so proudly considers himself to be.
Que mi esposo se levante todos los días a trabajar echándole todas las ganas del mundo, y hay veces que enfermo, muchas veces la verdad, enfermo con dolor y con dolor en sus pies, y viene a trabajar porque pues quiere sacar a su familia adelante. Quiere sacar a su familia adelante, quiere que sus hijos estén bien, quiere que sigan estudiando y apoyarlos hasta donde pueda. ¿Verdad, mamá?
Así es.
For as troubling as that experience was for my family and I, it birthed this story that I hope many people can relate to.
So the main takeaway from Manos de Oro, number one, obviously is the story. It's about communication, being able to come to terms with whatever unresolved issues you may have.
It's okay to lean on people for help, that we can't do things alone.
To think about family in a different way, and to appreciate.
Look at yourself, look at your situation, your particular situation, and ask better questions of yourself. How can you be better? How can you have better relationships, you know?
It's a very human story, and I think people can take away from that whatever it is it means to themselves.
Not just men, women go through it as well, teenagers, young men of my age. It's a very common experience, and I'd love for audiences to take away the fact that it's okay to ask for help. Always keep your family close to you, and don't stigmatize mental health, because it's a real thing, and we shouldn't just put it aside for sake of not wanting to feel weak or to be seen as weak.